So, have you been playing Fortnite or Apex Legends non-stop for the last week to month to even a year and getting burnt out from it? Maybe because your friends stopped playing it or you keep dying or even winning too much? Well, in this video, I may have a solution for you. Spellbreak is a new massively multiplayer battle royale game that is currently available for early access. But don't stop to think this is just your typical battle royale game with guns, because this battle royale is a first in a long time to try and take a new twist on the battle royale genre. If you're looking to mix things up and you like games like World of Warcraft or movies like Harry Potter or even The Hobbit, you may like this game quite a bit. Spellbreak replaces guns for these weapons called Gauntlets. Gauntlets are magic casting weapons of power, all with different magical abilities and rarities. Want to burn your enemies in combat? Well, you can do that with fire magic. Want to throw giant boulders at your enemy using earth magic like the Avatar? Well, you can do that too. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick look at the upcoming battle royale Spellbreak, as well as give you a sense to if you would like to play this game or not. Currently, there are 6 different types of gauntlets in Spellbreak, each with different magical uses. I'm going to show all of the gauntlets right now to give you a quick sense of the weapons in the game, as well as give you a taste of what gauntlet you may like to use if you end up giving this game a shot. First up, we have the Frost Gauntlet. The Frost Gauntlet is probably one of the hardest gauntlets to use in Spellbreak, with its primary ability being a quick, thin frost arrow you can use to shoot your enemies at a far distance, casting the arrow from your fingertips. Once you get really good at aiming with this weapon, it can be extremely deadly at far and even mid to close range. I've not mentioned this yet, but each gauntlet has its own secondary attack, kind of like an ultimate move that is generally more powerful than your primary attack. But the trade-off is that they do have a cooldown time. The Frost Gauntlet's ultimate is a huge ice tornado that will freeze anyone inside of its radius of effect for a few seconds, which makes this move pretty deadly. Next up, we have the Fire Gauntlet. The Fire Gauntlet's primary ability is a fireball that will engulf your enemies in flames. This attack should be mainly used at medium to close range, as the fireball moves fairly slow, so you won't have much luck hitting people from far ranges. The Fire Gauntlet's ultimate is a massive firewall that will deal damage to anyone that walks into its blazing path. It is also definitely one of the coolest looking attacks of the game. Next up, the Poison Gauntlet. The Poison Gauntlet's primary attack is a shotgun-like quickfire attack that deals an extremely deadly amount of damage at close range. It also leaves a mark of poison on the floor where you attacked, and anyone unfortunate enough to walk into it will slowly take poison damage until death. The Poison Gauntlet's ultimate ability is a massive poison bomb that you can shoot from close to even far ranges, dealing poison damage over time to anyone that steps into the gas. Next up, we have the Lightning Gauntlet. Cast simple but satisfying bolts at your enemies that even have a chance at stunning them, making it so they cannot move for periods of time. The Lightning Gauntlet's ultimate is one of my favorites, as you can cast a huge lightning bolt over your opponent's heads to execute them from the battlefield in a shockingly quick fashion. Next up, the Wind Gauntlet, which is also one of my favorites. The Wind Gauntlet's primary attack shoots a quick piercing slice of wind at your target, dealing light amounts of damage at rapid speeds. The Wind Gauntlet also has a cool ability where if you shoot the ground, it will make you fly up in the air, giving you a height advantage over your opponent. The Wind Gauntlet's ultimate attack is a massive wind tornado that will deal lots of quick damage to anyone that steps into it. I personally think that this gauntlet is one of the coolest gauntlets in the game. And last of all, we have the Stone Gauntlet. The Stone Gauntlet can control the earth to the user's will, as its primary attack is a ground pound ability that will form a small earthquake in the direction you are looking. The Stone Gauntlet's ultimate is a massive boulder that you can throw at your opponent, and the farther it goes, the more damage it will do. So if you can get good at using this ultimate, it can be extremely powerful at far ranges. Something that I also learned is that you can combine 2 different gauntlets, as you can have 2 equipped, one on your right hand and one on your left. Now the cool part is that each element has an effect on the other. For instance, if I were to shoot some ice onto the ground in front of me, then shoot fire at it, the water would become boiling hot, and if anyone were to step into it, they would take damage. Another cool combo I found is if you mix the Wind Gauntlet's ultimate with poison, and if you do that, you get a Poison Tornado, which deals wind damage and poison damage. I would go over more combos, but there are countless amounts of combinations you can do. I may cover the combos of different gauntlets in another video, along with other abilities in the game like classes and runes. Now that I've gone over all the gauntlets, I'm going to give my personal pros and cons to the game in its current state. My first con is the very steep skill gap that is currently in the game. If you are just a casual gamer that likes to play games here and there, if you try playing Spellbreak, I can tell you that for the first few days you play this game, you will die quite a bit, as it really takes a lot of time to get a good feel for the controls, as well as all of the info you have to remember while playing, like what all of the runes, classes, and gauntlets do. And because this game has a lot of fast-paced action fights, a lot of the time you won't even know what's happening before you die. I'm not saying it is impossible to get good at this game, but I am saying that the first time you'll play this game, you'll have to practice a lot before you start consistently killing people. Although this could be just because of the small amount of people that are playing this game right now, as the game is still in alpha. So it is possible that when the game fully releases, it will be easier to get kills and learn the game in general. Another minor con is that there is currently no friend invite system in Spellbreak. So you have to send a code to the person you want to play with, but hopefully this is something they fix in the future. My final con is the zones on the map. If you play any Battle Royale games, you will know that it is essential to familiarize yourself with each of the zones, and the main reason you can tell the difference between each zone is that they all have something unique about them that is different to one another. Currently in Spellbreak, all of the zones look fairly similar, and it is just hard to tell between each zone, as each one has just a ton of the same assets just copied and pasted all over the map. Although I'm sure that over time they will make each zone more unique, as right now they are focusing on perfecting the game's mechanics and gameplay. A good thing is that it brings something new to the table, and it falls into the category many people love, Battle Royale games. But instead of just another generic shooter we have gotten so many times, Spellbreak is trying something new, which I think is a good thing. The next pro I have is that the game looks amazing. When I played this game for the first time, I instantly thought of Breath of the Wild. Even all of the spells look really good, and somehow all blend into the beautiful environment when being casted. Last of all, another pro is that the devs seem to be doing all of the right things, and they are moving the game in the right direction. The Spellbreak community is also really good, and I'm pretty sure that it is also one of the biggest Discord server communities. Overall, Spellbreak looks like it's a really cool game, and it's definitely something I will be playing more when it fully releases. Well, if you enjoyed watching this first look video on Spellbreak, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, as I will be posting much more content like this in the future. This is the first video on my channel, so creating this was sort of a learning experience, so my videos will only get better from here on out. If you want to try out Spellbreak, I will leave a link to the alpha sign-up website by Proletariat Games in the description. There will also be links to the resources I used to create this video in the description as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.